How the heck are everybody? I am Fastidious. Welcome to a brand new series, Should You Summon? This is going to be a video I release every Thursday, the night before that weekend's banner, in which I answer the question, should you summon? And I'm going to break it down by each spending class. So first we'll do free to play, then low spender, then mid spender, then whale. I won't be touching on kraken in any of these videos, because if you're a kraken, spend away, summon whatever you like. So this weekend, two big banners, I guess technically three, because we have a rare summoning banner and a legendary summoning banner on the Aylin 10X. However, the big one, the guaranteed summoning event, you are guaranteed Falcia if you do not get her by your 250th summon. Pretty big, pretty exciting, quite a cool champion. And then a 10X featuring Aylin, another brand new hero, and Calypso. Let's get into it.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
And of course, at the end of every one of these videos, I will finish with myself answering the question, will I summon? But you're gonna have to stay tuned for that. So here we are on the Fastidious test server. This is the test server. Why are we here? Well, so we can pop in and out of the gallery and check out Falcia and Aylin. But let's start with the woman of the hour, Falcia, starting off with free to play. Which banner should they go for? Should they go for any banner at all? I think absolutely not. I think this is the most obvious skip weekend we have had for a free to play account since I started playing the game, probably. The 10X is pretty underwhelming. Aylin, I'll get into her in a second. Pretty cool healer, but that's it. She's just a healer. Actually, let's get into her right now. I haven't talked about her at all because there's not so much to say. I guess I can give you one behind the scenes piece of information. We just had the Codex arrive on Forerunner. It's coming here to Global very shortly. There is one fight in Codex that needs a ton of healers. I've gotten the tip from the Forerunner people, and Aylin is going to be amazing for it, right? So one specific fight she'll be amazing for. Should a free-to-play player be going for a hero because they might be amazing at one endgame fight? Absolutely not. You have other healing options. If you're brand new to the game and you don't understand what's going on, she's a healer and she's great at healing. What's the problem here? We have no support class in this game. So a healer just being good at healing and not doing any other utility, other support, kind of makes them a waste of space on your roster when we have other healers that add all these great support effects and utility effects. I do want to point out one thing about her though. Extremely unique range. Extremely unique. Basically, she has like a square going off in each direction. You can see she has 3x2 rectangle in each direction with herself being a square in the middle. Kind of like a, what's the word? A juiced up version of like the Autumn or the Sadie range or the Dolores range, right? Pretty cool stuff. But I think she's going to be someone that you're not going to be pulling on a 10X for a healer. Almost no one should ever be pulling on a 10X for a healer unless that healer is someone like Elwyn that brings something game breaking like her rage regen ability for your whole squad. Aylin just brings heals, heals, and heals. I also want to highlight her base stats. Very low base attack for an attack based healer, and honestly quite low HP for an attack based healer. Let me show you that in comparison to someone like Ezreal. Ezreal, you know, people get a little down on Ezreal because he doesn't do much more than heal. I do think he's more interesting, and he certainly has much better stats. 5,400, almost 5,400 base attack, and then almost getting close to 11,000 HP compared to Aylin, who's under 10,000. All in all, I think this is a must-skip weekend, guys. It really is. If you're a free-to-play player, the 10X is not worth it. In the off chance you've been saving and saving and saving since Captain Reeve, and you have 250 summons to go for Falcia, I say you can definitely go for her. Very likely she will be completely game-changing for your account, but as a free-to-play, you should try to control where you put your summons, and if you're not prepared to go all the way to the pity, 250 summons, you're just gambling on a normal 10X banner. I'd say save your gamble for if they put out like an Elwyn banner or a Hot Sit banner, that's gonna have a more instant impact on your account. If you happen to be like a late game or end game free-to-play player, she could definitely be someone you consider, but again, only if you've saved up those summons, at least in my opinion. Now, to discuss low spend. Absolute must skip again. The only exception being Falcia. I would go for Falcia if I was a low spend, and I'm defining low spend as anywhere up to like 20 to 25 bucks a month. To some people that might seem low for low spend, to some people that might seem really high. I'm arbitrarily deciding these, not arbitrarily, I've been playing these games for a while. That's what feels like low spend to me. People tend to spend a lot on these games. 20 bucks a month will buy you like the Priv card and I think the stamina card. That's probably what I would get if I spent money. So that feels like low spend. Let me know in the comments what you think are the delineations between low spend, mid spend, and whale. But I would say if you've been saving up, if you're willing to drop like 20 bucks on this and you want to skip out on the stamina pass this month or something, she could be worth it for sure. Again, I think it's a tough decision unless you can guarantee that you're going to be able to, unless you're fully prepared that you can go to the guarantee and do all 250 summons. I would not go for her as a low spend player. The 10x, no chance. If you're low spend, 10x's are a great place to go in. However, not when this is the banner. I have filmed a video with Ray from the Dragon Slayer community today. We did talk about Calypso. Calypso is someone that's really, really great if you're a whale or a kraken or you're crazy lucky and you get her all the way to A5. Up until then, she's not going to help you too much, maybe a bit at A1, but then it's going to take a while before she's really up and running, especially once you're into late and endgame content. She's quite difficult to use. She's a bit niche. It really takes that A5 to make her special. And a low spend player, you probably do not have her A5 and you're probably not even close. And if you are, you might have to look in the mirror and face the fact that you're probably not low spend or you've had some pretty wacky, pretty specific niche luck. And then Aylin, like I said, she's just a healer. Save it for the big moments. Let's talk about the epics right now. What a bummer, man. If you're gonna give this as the 10x, they should be throwing like at least, I would say, at least a Dolores quality, maybe not Dolores quality, but you know, something like Deimos, a Deimos quality. So like put Hollow on the banner. That would get people going. I'd probably throw some summons if Hollow is on the banner. But with just Voroth, who's very much just a mid-game hero, completely falls off a cliff, with Avelyn, who is just a meh defender, she's fine. And then of course with Selkath, who is, what's the word, not special at all. Just a solid D-level hero. Check out my epic tier list on mages if you're interested in that. This is a skip weekend for you too if you're a low spender. Now where it gets a bit interesting, medium spender. I would say if you're a medium spender, I'm gonna define this up to 70 bucks a month. Does that sound right? We'll call it 70 bucks a month. That's a lot, right? So that'd be 840 bucks a year. Maybe that's even a little too high. You let me know in the comments again. But I'm gonna say if you're in that 50 buck, maybe a little bit more than 50 buck a month range, I'm gonna say likely skip unless you have been saving and hoarding, right? So if you're sitting on like 80 to 120 summons already, and you've got a handful of diamonds, and you're like, hey, what's another 40 bucks if they have a good pack out or something? Falcia could really help your account. You're gonna have to evaluate who is currently on your account, in terms of heroes on your roster, and what kind of content are you struggling with, and what kind of fighters you currently have. So what do I mean by that? If you've got Valeria, if you've got Salazar, not direct parallels to Falcia, but they are single target bursts in a big, powerful way, they can probably do the job for you. I think Falcia really, when it comes down to it, unless you're brand new or you've had really bad fighter luck, I don't think she's a necessity, at least not yet. Maybe for endgame, she really could be. But as of now, I think she's just the ultimate luxury. I think she's gonna be a really fun, really usable hero. But if you're in that mid-spend range and you haven't prepped a little bit, it might end up being really expensive to go and try to get her. I'd presume it could easily be over 100 bucks, 200 bucks. Again, I don't buy the deals, but I think it could be really expensive to try to get to that 250 otherwise. So I'd really consider it. Just to quickly show Aylin again, I guess. I'm not dying to talk about her, as you can tell. I think this is a bummer of a 10x. If you guys remember with the Captain Reeve 250 guaranteed event, that's the only other 250 guaranteed we have had on Global. That was paired with a wild 10x. It was Arrogance and Razak. Razak might not be the greatest here in the world, but it's a very good legendary, very solid, and a legendary you don't mind pulling dupes of. And Arrogance is freaking Arrogance, one of the best heroes in the entire game. So it really kind of divided people's attention and their wallets, and it was a good money-making opportunity, I'm sure, for the game. This is basically like, are you really gonna pull on a hero that, oh, her special ability is she just heals harder? You know, that's her talent, and then increasing healing multiplier, and then more talent increasing healing multiplier, and then, oh, what is this? Oh, a little more Divine Moonlight, a little more healing multiplier. It's just healing, right? So I think it's a hard skip on the 10x, even for a medium spender. And I think in the right situation, if you've saved, I would say you should go in on Falcia. That would be my advice, unless you're stacked up with your Valeria, maybe with the Zealot or an Arrogance, and with the Salazar. If you have Zealot and you have Valeria, I say skip it, right? Because you have big magic damage, big physical damage. If you have Salazar and Zealot, something like that. Otherwise, if you've saved up, I'd say go for it. Spend a few bucks. She's going to be pretty good. Now, for the whales. For the whales. This is where it really comes down to what point in the game are you? Like, where are you at? If you're in the earlier mid-game and you're a whale, you should absolutely go for this. Like, it's a no-brainer, I think. She's going to be game-changing for you, even if you have someone like Zealot. She's going to pair awesome, unless you're a super whale, in which case you might have to look in the mirror and say, hey, maybe I'm not a whale, maybe I'm a kraken. If you're spending 100 plus, or let's say 150 plus bucks a month, 100 bucks plus a month, even 75 bucks plus a month, You're kind of getting to the higher end. I guess not 75. Let's send some definitions. Again, get in the comments and correct me if you feel like you need to. I don't mind at all. I don't know much about spending. Let's say a whale is like up to $150 a month. More than $150 a month, that's freaking wild. Like if you're spending $200 a month, like you're $250 a month, right? You're getting on pace for $3,000 a year, right? So let's say that. Let's set it at 250, if up to 250. But I do feel like at the upper echelons, that's quite the hefty spending bracket. But if you're a whale and you're early mid game, she's a must pull. Unless you've had crazy luck with fighters or you've just been blessed on all your pulls, I don't know how she's not going to help your account. At least when Codex arrives. When we get a new guild boss, new stages in Void Rift, she's going to be awesome, right? And then if you are in the late game or the end game, it is going to depend on your roster. I think I am probably a decent parallel to a whale. Obviously, I don't spend any money, but I am able to summon a ton because I get all my free diamonds from my content creator rewards, and I am going for her. So why am I going for her? I don't have Salazar, I don't have Valeria. If I had one of those, I think I would have to think about it. However, I would still be tempted because I really see something special in the fact that she does hybrid damage. If you missed either my spotlight or my huge guide I put out yesterday, please go check it out. But she says she does normal damage here. However, if you click on anything, it's quite clear. She does hybrid damage. Half of her damage is normal, half of it is magic. Over here, half normal, half magic. Super, super potent. I definitely see content coming that she's going to absolutely shine in. I think in Void Rift Nightmare, she's going to be amazing. So for me, I'm gonna go for her. I guess I'll get more into that at the end, but maybe spoiler alert. But I think most whales probably should go for them unless they're stacked. Like I said, I've got amazing fighters in Arrogance and Silo 2, but I don't have any of that big single target, just smack you in the face burst. But if I had Valeria, maybe I would think otherwise. I'm not sure. But if I had Salazar, I think I still would go for her as well. In terms of the Aylin banner, I think the Aylin banner, honestly, if it's not getting clear, I think it's, again, a skip. The only way I'd go for it, and here's a little tip to the Krakens, if you're a Kraken, you should go for it. If you can just snag one copy quick, she's going to help in Codex, I'll tell you that right now. But aside from that, I think the rest of the banner is kind of a drag. I guess if you're a Kraken and you're running a Piercer team, like if you have an Aracha and you're running a Piercer team in Guild Boss, and you really want to get Calypso in the mix, you're going to want Calypso A5, so that's another reason to go for this banner. But otherwise, I think no way for a whale. So yeah, I guess we're towards the end now, so I can give my thoughts on what I am doing. I think I've got something close to a whale's perspective. I think Falcia, if you can afford to do it, so for me, it's can I afford in terms of the diamonds. I've got almost 20,000 diamonds right now. I've been saving up summons, so I'm going to go for it. And if you've got the cash in your wallet or the ching-ching on your credit card, I say go for it. It's totally up to you. I think she looks really darn cool. I think she's really good. I see tons of potential for their future content coming that she's going to fit perfectly into, so I am going for her. So in conclusion, free to play, skip them both. Low spender, almost certainly skip them both. If you happen to have been saving a bunch, get a go at Falcia, but I really wouldn't do it unless you have 250 for sure and you're fully prepared, both in terms of resources and emotionally, to go all the way to 250 for pity, because most likely that is what it will take. For mid spenders, similar situation. However, perhaps a bit more wiggle room. You can spend a little more to get there. Again, mid spender, I would still skip that Aylin and Calypso banner. Finally, well, let's just jump ahead. Krakens, do whatever the heck you want. And then finally, whales. I'd say probably you are going to want to go for Falcia. And if maybe you're on the higher end of whales, you can think of throwing 100 summons or 50 summons towards Aylin and seeing if you hit. I do want to clarify one more thing before we wrap this thing up. Guys, this is a limited banner. Could she come back the same way could Reeve come back? Absolutely. But as it stands right now, she will be here until Tuesday. I believe that's how long the banner is going to run. They don't show me on the test server. Be here till Tuesday, and then she'll be gone for at least a pretty darn long time. I know I missed out on Reeve, and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. I didn't have the summons for him at the time, and now here I am 2 months later, no Reeve, right? So is it going to be another 2 months? Is it going to be 6 months? We don't know. So if you're on the fence, maybe that's motivation to do it. Otherwise, this is a good weekend to hold. Kick back, throw on my stream, throw on Ivy's stream, watch the polls parties over the weekend, get a little dopamine that way, and save up for the amazing things that I'm sure are going to come in the next few weeks with Christmas fast approaching. And one final thing to reiterate, her pity is at 250. It is a different pity than your normal banner, than normally when you're in the summoning and you do your Invocation of Spirits. So if you're saying I'm already at 120 into my pity on my normal rare summoning banner, so I only have to do 130 to get to 250, 250? Dead wrong. It's going to be a fresh pity specifically for this guaranteed banner. You're going to start at 0. If you want to go to pity, it's going to be 250 summons. Also worth mentioning, if you get her before 250, do not expect to get another copy at 250. The pity is only pity if they need to pity you. Oh, and I almost forgot. I'll put a picture on the screen right now of a poll I posted on my YouTube community page earlier. I asked the question, will you summon for Falcia? We had 152 responses, so thank you guys for participating. 7% of people said, yes, I have saved enough resources. 5% of people said, yes, I will buy resources if I have to. 34% of you, thank you so much for valuing my opinion, said maybe I want to watch Fasties, should you summon video first? Well, here you are, you just watched it. Let me know what you're going to do now. And then, no, I did not save enough resources and I'm not buying any. That was 32% of the responses, nearly a third of the responses. And finally, no, she's not worth it, 22%. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like the video if you like it, get in the comments, subscribe, share it with your mother. I've been Fastidious, and I'll see you in the next one.
Fastidious.